Good evening, Nick the Forester here. Just messing around in the shop tonight. I got some updates on some saws. The host forma, took it out. Had to cut a tree that was down across one of our woods roads today. Ran fine through about 3 cuts, and the last 2 it started going lean, acting like it had a air leak somewhere. But while it did run, it was strong. It's very, very strong. And that's not broke in at all. That was first tank on that saw. First tank of gas on it, so it ain't nowhere near broke in. And it was running pretty darn good. I'm unsure where that leak is now. I went, after the last video, I pulled the boot off it because I wasn't happy with how the boot fit up, and basically pulled it back apart, put it back together. Like I said, ran fine for about 4 cuts, and then started acting like it had an air leak somewhere. So I'm unsure if it's something in the boot, something in my base gasket I did for it, or if it's just got an air leak in one of the crank seals, or if it's got a leak in a case. I'm not sure at this point. But I'm not going to worry about that tonight. I want to jump on something else fun. Did try to go start up the 266 that I pulled the base gasket out of and sealed up. It would not pull fuel, so inadvertently I somehow blocked off the impulse hole. I pulled it back apart. I thought I had a set of intake gaskets for it. I do not here, so I'm waiting on those to come in. But to piddle around tonight, messed around with the Husqvarna 1100 CD. Figured out kind of what carb it needs. Got the correct bolts for it. May end up making my own throttle linkage for it, because I'm not a fan of how they set up this throttle linkage on this vintage of saw. But I decided to play around a little bit tonight, and hop back on one that kind of got thrown by the wayside while I was waiting on parts for other saws and waiting on my new timing device, I guess you could call it. So I started piddling around with the Pioneer farm saw. This is the farm saw tool we picked up. Just ran timing numbers on it. I'll double check them just to. This thing's about shot. But to give you, alright, we're opening the exhaust right about, it's cracking right about there, about 112, and the transfers are opening at, give or take, 130. So that's what, 18 degrees blow down. And 112 on the exhaust. Obviously, being a reed saw, the intake's just going to be metered by the reeds, so there ain't much you can do there besides change out reeds, which I do have some 405 reeds, which I believe are thinner than these reeds. I may throw in it after I do my work to it. My thoughts are probably going to pull the exhaust down to 103, 102, 103. Pull it 10 degrees and see what it does there. Alright, no, we'll take this in a couple stages. We'll pull it, take it to let's say 105 on the exhaust to start with. This is without a base gasket. Check the squish on it. Squish is running about 30 thou. No base gasket with this cylinder on this saw. This cylinder on the other saw with a base gasket was running 29 thou. So this one's obviously got a taller deck on it. So it's going to go no base gasket, about 27 and 31 thousandths of squish, depending on where in the cylinder you pull it from. It's not a flat, it's not very even flat. And then we'll start off at, I've ported one or two of these farm saws. And I usually put them at 108. I usually pull them just down 4 degrees and usually makes for a fairly good saw. So I'm going to try to pull this one down a little bit harder. Let's pull it down to 105 and then we'll try out, and if we think there's more to be had, we'll pull the cylinder back off and we'll take it even farther. Then I'll probably pull it down to 102, then maybe even 100, and we'll see what she does. So go ahead and turn my Wixie off. We'll pull this cylinder back off, pull the ring off, and then that's where we're going to set how we're going to set our timing on it. Come on. These guys can be kind of a bugger to get to. There we go. Okay. Throw that down in my box. I'm just going to we'll pull 2 of them. Well, let me put it back on and check it. We're just going to run 2. There we go. Make sure we'll crack open this last one. Guess I could order a new ring for this saw. Just give it the best chance it's got. But that, when it was on that other case, it's a pretty good compression. I'd say it was probably around 130, 135. I didn't put a compression gauge on it, but it seemed like it still had pretty decent. So we'll just have to see. All right, but let's continue pulling this guy down. That one should be out. That one's out. Okay. Start pulling her on off. So she ain't in the best of shape by no means. Ooh, that's a little tough landing. I don't want it to be quite that tough. Of course, a bunch of them fell out. There's that guy. There's a bolt. That cylinder ain't perfect, but it's dang good for what it is. Where's that other guy? There we go. So now ain't too bad. It'll work. Pull it off. This ring is how thick? gauge. Roughly 1.5, 1.6 ring. So put it is roughly right. If we don't want to catch it, we'll put it on the opposite side. We'll throw it back on. Now the fun part, setting these guys back in here. There we go. Put that one on. Take it, go to the opposite side. I will need my needle nose for that guy. Put that up, grab my needle nose. I said this one's just gonna be to play around with. Them others that I'd done before were they were fairly nice saws, so I didn't want to take one and turn it up too high to where it was useless. I had to keep somewhat safe numbers. It does not want to get started. No, that one's epoxy, Dan. Now it started. I don't know why I was acting out weird like that. Come back down, tighten our bottom side. Get my torque wrench. Okay, ain't nothing but a socket. Be plenty tight. Just pull her back up here. My little jig. About there. About there. That's where she, give or take where she were. Alright, so it should be closing right there. No. And about there. I'm going to take you about right there. And we'll pick it back up, pull it back apart. That way, the ring should be about where we need to Take this guy on off too. Go ahead and turn this guy off to save the battery. Y'all been having a good week. It's what, Thursday night? I guess tonight is. Yeah, a pretty good week over, or say a pretty good week over here. It ain't been a bad week. Just been another week, you know. Nothing overly good, nothing overly bad. Just another week. Let's roll you back down. Pull you off. Slide that guy out. There she is. Put that guy back. Really need to make a guide to set this sucker in. So that's how far. I don't know if you'll be able to see that. Oh, my flashlight. Let's see. Come on. Turn it back this way. That's how far we're pulling it up, right there. That'll put it at 105 degrees. Sorry, I ain't very good with this camera angle stuff. I mean, y'all can see it. All I'll do is take a Sharpie, mark about where it's at, if I can find where I put it, or you can always scribe you a line. Usually better with Sharpie. Really ain't gonna be pulling it all that much. To be totally honest with you, ain't too god awful far off from where we want it to be. But let me find my Sharpie real quick, and I will see y'all in just a second. Hey guys, I went ahead and I started porting the cylinder. Brought the went down to my mark on the exhaust, and I'm opening up the transfers on the lower end, and then cutting the locators on the transfer side down to where they just meet the base. That should give a little more boost in flow to the transfers. I'm not going to video any of it because I'm fairly slow at porting, but when I do finish, I will bring y'all back and show y'all the finished work, and then we'll check our numbers again and see where we landed, and we'll go from there. But I appreciate y'all watching. Hope y'all have a wonderful rest of your evening, and if there's anything y'all want to see, any tips, tricks, things I should get better at, please let me know in the comments. Now we'll see y'all in the next one. Thanks, y'all. Bye.